You ever notice how a single phrase can unravel someone? How words, carefully chosen, can slip past the armor she wears around her heart and linger there, like smoke in a dark room that refuses to dissipate? Imagine standing there, just across from her, the dim light catching the curve of her lips, the subtle tension in her jaw, the way her eyes dart, half curious, half guarded, and you speak. Not loudly, not clumsily, but with a weight, a gravity that makes her feel seen, truly seen, for the first time today. That's the power you're holding right now, though you may not even realize it. This is Psychology of Desire. Here, we explore the hidden codes of attraction, the subtle language of connection, and the dark psychology that makes hearts race when no one is looking. If you want to understand her, not just superficially, but at the level of thought, feeling, and desire, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. What you're about to hear will change the way you speak to her, forever. You've been there, haven't you? Watching her laugh at something trivial, wishing you could whisper the truth behind the thought that flickered across your mind. That she is magnetic, that there is a storm in her quiet, that the way she moves is a secret language only the soul can understand. Most men stumble through these moments with shallow, clumsy compliments, empty phrases that vanish before they land. But there's a different path, one few dare to tread, a path that touches the hidden chambers of desire. A path that, when walked correctly, leaves her breath caught in her throat, her mind replaying the words over and over, each repetition a thrill, a confession she didn't know she needed. Notice the way she tilts her head when she's intrigued. How her eyelashes catch the light like fragile glass. This is not just beauty, it's a language. And words, the right words, can speak directly to that language, bypassing all reason. You're not here to flatter, not here to charm casually. You're here to awaken something buried, a recognition in her of herself she sometimes forgets exists. It's subtle, darkly elegant, like tracing your finger along a map of secrets she only reveals to herself in the quiet of the night. And when you whisper the truth hidden in the ordinary, about the way she carries herself, the unseen strength behind her laughter, the vulnerability she pretends to hide, she can't help but respond. Her walls don't crumble, they melt. Slowly, imperceptibly, like ice dissolving into the warmth of sunlight she never noticed was there. You might wonder if this is manipulation. But it isn't. It's understanding. You're not creating desire. You're reflecting it. Mirroring back the depth she rarely encounters, the clarity she rarely hears. Every word you choose is a torch, lighting corners of her psyche she keeps in shadow, corners she doesn't even know she longs to illuminate. And when it lands, when she looks at you with that flicker of startled recognition, there's a moment, a heartbeat suspended, where she realizes she's not the only one who has been quietly watching, waiting, aching. And this is the truth that most men never learn. A compliment is never just a compliment. It's an echo of perception, a bridge from thought to feeling, from glance to intimacy. And when you speak with insight, when your words are laced with precision and care, she doesn't just hear you, she experiences you. She senses the gravity behind them. She senses that you see not only what is visible, but what is essential, what is forbidden, what is secret even to herself. The kind of words that make her shiver not because she is weak, but because she has finally been recognized, finally been understood. And here's the subtle, almost cruel beauty of it. Once she feels it, she will never forget. She will carry your words in the quiet spaces of her mind, in the moments when she thinks no one is watching. And each time, the memory of that recognition will awaken something she didn't know she needed to feel alive. That is the power you hold. The quiet, devastating, intoxicating power of understanding her and saying it aloud with perfect, deliberate care. The first thing you must understand is that a compliment is not just words, it is a reflection. When you notice her essence, not the surface, you pierce through the veil of ordinary attention. Say this and watch the change. There's a strength in you I can't stop noticing. Not, you're strong, like a careless echo. but an acknowledgement that she carries battles, victories, and storms in her quiet. Her eyes will sharpen, just for a fraction of a second, as if she's caught herself reflected in your words and thought, "Finally, someone sees me." That fleeting moment, invisible to anyone else, is where desire begins to simmer. And then there's the one that lingers in her mind long after the conversation ends. The way you notice the world, it's unlike anyone else. You're not praising her looks. You're praising her perception, her soul's rhythm. She'll feel the pull of your words as a quiet gravity tugging at her chest. It is intimate, dangerous even, because it validates her being in a way no casual compliment ever could. She feels understood without having to explain herself, and in that recognition, a quiet fire awakens. You watch her react to a simple observation about her laugh. Your laugh. It doesn't just fill the room, it leaves traces, like echoes that stay even after you've gone. Say it with sincerity, slow and deliberate, and she will notice the weight in your voice. She'll notice that you aren't joking, that you aren't flattering blindly, that your words are not cheap. There's something almost taboo about this intimacy, the way you acknowledge her in layers, in ways most men never even perceive. And she will melt, not outwardly, not theatrically, but internally. Her pulse quickens in places no one else touches, in secret, and the subtle, intoxicating one that men rarely use. I don't know how you do it, but you make everything around you feel alive. Pause before you speak it. Let it hang in the space between your voices. Her attention will sharpen instinctively. Her chest will lift just slightly. It is the recognition of her power, unspoken but real, the awareness that she affects the world without effort, that she leaves a mark on everyone she passes. It's psychological, almost primal. She senses that you are aware of her influence, not just her beauty, but her presence, her energy, her hidden depth. And this is the compliment that begins to make her heart betray her rational mind. Do not mistake subtlety for weakness. These words are weapons and whispers at the same time. Delivered carelessly, they crumble into nothing. Delivered with observation, with attention, with intent, they sink into her psyche like roots in fertile soil, growing into obsession. You are not charming her. You are revealing her to herself, showing her the parts she hides even from her own reflection. And in that revelation, you create a tension, a craving that is almost unbearable, because she begins to desire being seen like this by you and only you. By now, she's aware, just slightly, of the gravity of your presence. She feels it like the shift in the air before a storm. And this is only the beginning. The first 4 words, carefully delivered, have done what most men never can. They've touched the hidden architecture of her mind, the secret corridors where she keeps her longing, her vulnerability, her untold truths. And you? You've walked inside without her realizing it, leaving your mark, quietly, deliberately, irreversibly. And if you think this is mere flattery, think again. This is psychology. This is desire unfolding in real time. This is knowing exactly which chords to strike, which shadows to illuminate, and which quiet spaces to leave unspoken, until she cannot help but seek more. Now we step into territory few men dare enter, the compliments that strike not only the surface, but the hidden chambers of her psyche, where desire lives quietly, almost fearfully. You've already touched the first layer of her awareness. Now you go deeper, where subtlety becomes obsession and observation becomes intimacy. There's one that works like a shadow, quiet but undeniable. You make me want to understand things I never noticed before. Say it slowly. Let your words hang like smoke curling in the dim light. She will pause, caught mid-thought, because she has never been credited for the way her mind works, for the depth of her curiosity, for the way her presence shapes the world around her. Most men compliment what they can see. You are complimenting what only she knows, the interior labyrinth of her intellect, her perception, her hidden brilliance. That acknowledgement burrows under her skin. She feels it, and something inside her stirs, a longing to be explored, to be known fully, as though you've handed her a mirror and reflected what she always feared was invisible. Then there's the one that dances on the edge of her vulnerability. I feel like you've seen more than anyone else ever could. Speak it with a voice that carries weight, that implies truth. She will catch herself recoiling slightly because vulnerability is dangerous. But the danger excites her. The idea that someone notices not just what she shows, but what she guards, is intoxicating. She will want to test you, to see if you really can, or if you're another mask of admiration. And when your gaze does not falter, when your words hold the same gravity the second time as the first, she melts further, a little more into the quiet storm you have begun to awaken. The next one is almost cruel in its elegance. Being around you makes the world feel sharper, clearer, more alive. This is different from any shallow compliment about her laughter or her eyes. This is an acknowledgement that her presence changes the very texture of reality. She will feel it in her chest, a pull she cannot explain. She may brush it off, laugh nervously, try to hide the tremor in her hands, but she knows it's true. You've given her an unseen validation, a recognition of her effect on the world that no casual observer ever could. And she will carry that memory like a secret weight, heavy and thrilling all at once. And finally, the one that lingers long after your conversation ends, seeding desire with a slow-burning intensity. There's a part of you I can't stop thinking about even when I try. Say this deliberately, almost whisper it, as if it's a confession you can barely contain. She will feel it before she understands it. Her mind will twist, her chest will tighten because you have named the unspoken, the hidden pull she herself may not admit. And in that moment, you have done what words rarely achieve. You have made her feel herself through your eyes, reflected and recognized, exposed and desired, all at once. These last four are not casual. They are psychological triggers, a map into her desire. Delivered with attention, care, and subtlety, they create a tension that lingers, a magnetic pull she cannot resist. Each one is a thread, and together they weave a tapestry of fascination and longing. She is aware, consciously or not, that you see her in ways no one else can. And in that awareness, she cannot help but lean closer, to watch, to listen, to wonder what you will say next. This is the art, the dark psychology behind the words that make her melt. Not manipulation, not deceit, but insight, observation, and the quiet, deliberate act of seeing her, truly seeing her, in ways the world never does. And once you begin to speak this language, once you use it with precision and care, she will never hear a compliment the same way again. By now, you've seen how these words, these carefully chosen echoes of perception, can move her, not superficially, but deep beneath the surface, where she hides the parts of herself even from herself. But here's the thing most men never realize. With great insight comes great responsibility. These compliments are not toys. They are keys. Keys that unlock doors she may have guarded for years. Doors to vulnerability, desire, longing, and trust. When you use them, you are not merely flirting. You are navigating the architecture of her mind, touching the silent chambers where longing sleeps quietly, waiting for recognition. Remember them all. The acknowledgement of strength, the validation of perception, the subtle recognition of influence, the confession of fascination she cannot escape. Each word has a life of its own, a pulse that resonates long after it has been spoken. Speak them too carelessly, and they vanish, leaving only echoes of failed intent. Speak them with precision, sincerity, and gravity, and you awaken a force within her she has rarely allowed anyone to touch. She will remember you, not for what you said, but for what she felt when you said it. That tremor in her chest, the shiver along her spine, the quiet thrill of being fully seen. They all belong to you now, if you wield your words with respect, with depth, with understanding. And here's the dark, beautiful truth. Desire is not manufactured. It is mirrored. You are not creating something artificial inside her. You are reflecting what already exists, what she herself senses but often cannot name. You are giving it voice, and when she feels it, truly feels it, she will not just notice you, she will linger on you, in her mind, in her quiet moments, in the spaces where she allows herself to imagine, to wonder, to hope. That is the power of seeing, of speaking, of complimenting with the kind of precision most men lack the awareness to ever attempt. So what happens now? Now, you watch, you observe. You choose the right moment to let the next word fall. You carry the gravity of what you've said, letting it settle, letting it resonate. Desire, once awakened with insight, does not fade easily. It grows quietly, like a shadow stretching across the floor as the day dies, unavoidable, magnetic, inevitable. And she, whether she admits it or not, will feel it, each subtle beat, each echo of acknowledgement, drawing her closer not just to your words, but to your understanding, to your presence, to the very perception of you that she cannot escape. This is not magic. This is psychology. Dark, elegant, intoxicating psychology. And you are the keeper of its secrets, if only you choose to wield them with intent, with subtlety, with the kind of deliberate care that turns fleeting attention into lingering fascination. You now hold the power to say the words that make her melt, to awaken desire, to leave a mark on her mind and heart she will not forget. And that, more than any shallow compliment, is what true attraction looks like. This is psychology of desire, where we uncover the shadows beneath connection, the truths behind what women cannot resist, and the art of speaking to her soul. Use these words wisely, and watch how even the quietest, most reserved presence bends toward the depth of your attention. If this video touched something inside you, if it made you see connection in a new, unsettlingly beautiful way, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because what we explore here is not casual. It is dangerous, intimate, and utterly unforgettable.